I used to do some meetings to help the addiction recovery and all those things. So they used to call that keep coming back. It never mind that when you have missed or something, it's more important to come back and whenever you wish and continue. I like that. It's basically based on some spiritual principle. No judgment. Just you keep coming back, feel free, keep coming back anytime. So I follow also same principle here. You're welcome anytime. No matter when you missed it or could not attend or think, okay, let us go low, come back anytime, no issues. All right. So today we'll discuss, welcome Basant. Today we'll discuss about some important point. This originally in, I think, 2016 October, I got a question in our group itself. We are one group, and from that we studied, and then I have given this comments on this issue. The question was the question was saying, if we are teaching on spiritual path, we have to let go our ego. Basically, we call annihilation of the ego. Ego need to be burned down or, thrown out. And what about that our self-respect, like particularly in a relationship? I'll come back to that one later on. So what is that if ego goes, the self-respect should also go? Means nobody is doing any kind of mental torture. We have to say yes, yes. Anything we can confront, and will that be ego? That was the basic question. So from there it comes that now I will give you understanding what is ego and what is self-respect, specifically, point by point, so that you understand the annihilation of ego. Let go of ego does not mean you let go of your self-respect. Rather, it is other way around. On spiritual path, we need to maintain self-respect, because self-respect is on our own. It is not dependent on anyone. Nobody gives or takes our self-respect. We maintain our self-respect, the dignity. We are all walking on the spiritual path. We are, as I explained earlier, we are not higher than anyone, not lower than anyone, and not equal either, because we are all unique. So we are walking our unique spiritual path, or life's path, you can say. Forget about spiritual. Some of you, when I say mention spiritual, you mean only Kriya and meditation. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm talking life's path, okay? So our life path is unique, and I will go into little detail, point by point you will understand. So basically, that ego and self-respect are completely two different things. Do not confuse. From the question when it came that to surrender my ego, that whatever is, people are saying you have to accept, and we don't say anything, and it is not that. Okay. So I will explain so that it will be clear to you. In brief, ego is negative and self-respect is positive. I'm just saying, giving a tagline. Ego is materialistic. Self-respect is spiritual. Okay, what we are asking here, materialistic part to let go and spiritual part to keep on. Okay, with this initial thing, so now I will start explaining about exactly how this rolls out. The ego is associated feeling which comes out of insecurity and fear. Whereas the associated feeling with self-respect is of confidence and self-assurance. And it is the wisdom that makes us to know the difference between these two. Okay, so understand it more detail. I will go some attributes of ego. So I'll make several points first about ego, and then I will make several points about the self-respect. So I have already posted these points earlier. I will read it here, but just point by point. So ego is about establishing your importance or superiority, usually in one sense or another, comparing yourself to other and waiting to prove yourself to be better. What I'm reading is the attributes of ego. So this is the first point. Second point is, ego is about placing importance on image over compassion. So ego is all about image building. Ego is about being overly sensitive without tempering the gravity of the situation. Ego does not go into the truth of the matter. It goes about the sensitivity of the matter, how sensitive it is to you, not necessarily what is the truth behind it. Ego is about imposition, manipulation, and force. So the characteristic of ego is it imposes something or others, or it manipulate others, or use the force. If somebody is not listening, then I will threaten. Whether it is a force is a physical force or monetary force or any other type of force. So these are the characteristics of ego. Now I will talk about what is the attributes of self-respect. Self-respect is about maintaining your confidence and a boundary in light of situations where someone is treating you unfairly. It is just maintaining boundary, not to fight, not to retaliate. It is just about maintaining your boundary. Suppose you bought a land, so you are maintaining your boundary. It doesn't matter what your neighbors are doing and what others are doing, and etc., etc. It is just you are maintaining what you have. Self-respect is about fighting fairly when you deprive of what you deserve. So here the fighting comes when something you deserve, but you are deprived of unfairly. But fighting needs to be fair. Means whatever you are demanding, you make the demand clear, but no need to be going to ugly fights or unnecessarily things like name calling, etc. That's not needed. But you can always place your demand, which is legitimate. Self-respect is about composure and faith that does not shake at every little provocation. Self-respect is rooted into the faith, what you have what you have within you. So you have some faith in you, faith in something about your life or about your future or about the divine that does not get shaken with every little provocation. Suppose you got some pickpocket on the street and say, oh, what useless these things are, or what's the purpose of following me all these principles and all. Still somebody stolen something from. So these are called little provocation, and you are coming out of your faith. That is not self-respect. Those characteristics are of ego. Self-respect is about flexibility, mutual freedom, and compassion. So self-respect is also accommodative. It is flexible. If flexible means like it takes the shape of the container without losing the content. I repeat it. Suppose in the water, if you put it in some glass or in a small bottle, etc., that the water will take its form to accommodate itself. But water itself doesn't evaporate being transferred from one place to another. It stays there nicely. It takes the shape, and that is called the flexibility, which is the characteristic of self-respect. Being flexible does not mean you have to be expose yourself to manipulation. It is your choice to be accommodative. With what? These other two words are equally important. Other two words are flexibility with mutual freedom and compassion. Nobody is forcing anyone to do anything. Or even if somebody is forcing that, you don't take it. You use your own freedom, freedom of choice, freedom of decision making, etc. And it should be coming out of compassion, not out of competition. The actions we take out of self-respect is compassion, whereas any action taken by the ego is out of competition, tit for tat business. It is self-respect is not tit for tat. It comes out of your own compassion. It is your own quality. Like, giving sunlight. Sun gives light not because it has a competition with any other star. It gives light because it is its nature. It takes care of on this planet and several other planets under, which is revolving around it, and they take care of it. And that's why there is no competition here. So that is about the characteristics, what I mentioned here. So this is about the definition part of it. I will go a little bit categorically what the definition says. I have done some kind of research. I will now read, I will put one slide here as a presentation, and then I will explain what it says. Let me see first. Okay, can you see the slide? Just unmute and say yes if you can see it.
Yes, Guruji.
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yes, Guruji.
Okay, great. See, this is, I got it in the net, but I got it that time actually in 2016. I posted in the group also. I'm just explaining that again here. See, first is about the definition. Definition of ego, it says the attachment to the wrong image of self. Why wrong? Because it attached to body, name. Name means your given name. And fame, money, religion, position, degree, achievements, everything which is acquired, which you have got after taking birth on this planet. What you acquired, you didn't bring those things with you. Any attachment with these things are your ego. And this one nice thing they're saying is, third point is, ego can be hurt. Means if some hurt feeling is coming, that is definitely coming from your ego. And in comparison to that, see what is the self-respect they're saying here. Definition, a sense of one's own dignity and worth. It is nothing to do with the image. It is your own dignity and worth, and it is self-sufficient. Image means in the eyes of somebody, in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of the society, in the eyes of the family. So that is your image. But what about with you? That is the sense of one's own dignity and worth. It doesn't matter what others are thinking and saying and comparing, doesn't matter. What about your own? So that is your sense of one's own dignity and self-worth. So that is self-respect. And what is the approach here? This approach is very practical, and this is heavily spiritual. Let me read it first, then I will go into further explanation. No matter what others think of me, I am putting my best efforts, which is the truth, in every aspect of life. I might not be the perfect yet, but I respect what I am, grateful for what I have, and gradually walking towards the perfection every day. What a wonderful statement. This is the correct spiritual comment on our own self. Here we are not trying to manipulate the truth. It is talking about we are walking towards the perfection every day. We are not perfect because we are human beings, are not born perfect. Because of there is some imperfection. That's why we took birth. To grow spiritually, have experience, and go towards that perfection. So that is the truth for everyone on planet Earth. Even the great masters, still they have some area, which is that yet to be fulfilled. So always they're working on that. Anyone spiritual, they're always working. They say that learning never happens. Learning does not mean theoretical knowledge. Learning means experiential understanding. So they are learning every time. So that is always you're walking towards the perfection, which is the truth. So rather than concentrating on what you don't have, you are saying, you are accepting the fact that you are not 100%. Nobody is 100% in that sense. And also you are walking towards that perfection, which is also another truth. So there is no image building here. You're sharing the truth, no matter where you are on the spiritual journey or life's journey. And as I mentioned in the beginning of the session, that nobody is below you, nobody is above you, nobody is equal to you either. You are unique. So basically, you are walking towards the perfection in your own unique way. It will not comparable to anybody else. At soul level, your path has been chosen. So it is neither, your path is not distorting because of the situations. It's all you have chosen the path. Now you are walking the path. So first you have make the plan at the soul level, and now you are implementing the plan at the incarnated level. And that's what it is. Okay, as per soul plans, you will come across many people, you develop some relationship because you wanted to have certain experiences as per soul's plan, and you keep walking. And that is the truth. It is not dependent on anyone. Unless until we decide not to walk further, nobody else can force us not to walk on our life's path further. And this is the approach of the self-respect. And the third one is I don't get hurt as I respect self. So that is a big difference between the ego and the self-respect. Self-respect cannot be hurt. It is your built-in quality. It cannot be hurt by somebody, but ego can be hurt because it's the image. Image can be distorted. Bring a different types of mirror, bring a convex mirror, your image will be distorted. But here in the self-respect, what you are, no matter what kind of mirror comes, you will remain who you are. And that is the self-respect. So this is what it is beautifully written in this particular slide. So now I hope you have understood that. I will now stop sharing. Going back to so can you see me? Just press thumbs up if you can see me. Okay. Fine. I will stop here before going to the relationship part of it. Okay. So far, from the definition, understanding point of view, if you have any question, you can ask me about ego and self-respect.
So Rajdeep, a question.
Yes.
I mean, it's self-evident truth, perhaps, is because what you explained perfectly makes sense, but at the same time, our traditional learning over the years, starting from Darwin's theory, use and disuse, and survival of the fittest, they take into account all the scientific approach to it, right? The resources are limited. So we are fighting for the resources. The fittest will get all. Winner takes it all, right? That kind of approach. So in that way, spirituality and leading a worldly life is a sharp contrast if someone approaches it to be fit in this world, right? So how do we balance it?
Okay. That's a good question. Let me explain first that resources limited part. Okay. I'll come back to the Darwin later on. Okay. Resources limited. This concept is coming from something called poverty consciousness. Poverty consciousness means in the world, the wealth is limited. If I don't take it out from somebody, I will not get it. This is called poverty consciousness. And prosperity, I'm talking spiritual point of view, okay, from spirituality. And prosperity consciousness is that everybody get whatever they want, still there'll be enough to share. If it is at present not there, it can be created. Means if there's shortage of gold in the world, a new gold mine can be created at your backyard by the creator. The way it was originally created, that intention can manifest that. Okay. So if you really deserve, so you remember the universal law, you get what you deserve, not what you want. So if you can increase your deserving capacity, come to a level of manifesting anything, you have no crunch with this, thing at all. There is no dearth of wealth in the world, neither it will be anytime in future. It's all about the distribution matter because of this wrong idea of that we have to take it from somebody to make ourselves rich. It is not true. Those things can be created, unlimited, infinite. We are not got that idea what infinite source means. Means thousands of planet like Earth can be created, and it is already there actually. We don't have to fight with two countries with a piece of land and bombard each other. There is enough land. Okay, so only our idea need to go beyond that. It is not, that's why it is called poverty consciousness. When we open up ourselves with that, the prosperity consciousness, then it flows through us. We don't feel that we are limited. We go into that infinite consciousness where we don't feel that we need to fight. In nature, it doesn't happen this way. Look at the forest. In a forest, the millions of trees, you will never see two trees fighting with each other for the space. We human beings, we do, because we have a free will. Okay. So this is what it is coming from, that thing that we have to, and you are right, this is also the loophole in our educational system. Because we have been educated to be a good servant. We never be educated to actualize our potential as per our quality of the soul. And that is why At the end of our life, intellectual, professional life, normal people, I'm saying, only 3% of our DNA found activated, 97% on waste, means all those qualities mostly belong to the spiritual category. Spiritual is what? Spiritual is connection with your own soul. So most of the things, what is gifted in our DNA, 97% of that we don't activate entire life. And we operate through that 3%. And with that understanding, we say, okay, this is what needs to be done, this is what needs to be done, and which may not be true. Okay, this is just, I'm giving you some kind of idea. I'm not going into the right and wrong thing. I'm not talking duality. I'm just sharing the truth. And second part of the Darwin's theory, because I think it is still Darwin's Day in US, and here it is 12th of February called Darwin's Day. See, Darwin is a scientist. He has given whatever he has learned about the evolution of life on planet Earth from the materialistic point of view, not a spiritual point of view. That is not the truth. Okay. Truth is our soul's journey. What I'm just sharing that I have seen my past lives, etc. We started as a mineral. The mineral is no way involved into Darwin's theory, but we did. We have the mineral life. And we don't even consider mineral as a life. Life means consciousness. It has got a consciousness, not life and cell level. And then we go into the plant kingdom, then animal kingdom, and then human being. And after that, we are walking towards being a spiritual being, multidimensional consciousness, not limited to third dimension. Okay. Anyway, so Darwin's theory missing the first part and the last part of our soul's journey on planet Earth. It can only tells us what is visible. I'm not criticizing Darwin. I'm just saying that this is not all the truth. Survival for the fittest, now I'm coming, survival for the fittest, it's correct. It is a theory, but that is not all. The consciousness of survival, let me go now, as you are aware of the spiritual context, let me come back. In the spiritual context, I'm saying survival of the fittest is a characteristic of your first chakra, first one. We have 7 in the body. So if you concentrate only on first chakra, then survival of fittest makes sense. We need to. If we don't survive, nothing else will be happening. That's correct, But what I am saying is that is not all. Darwin's theory is not all. Truth is much, much higher level than Darwin's theory. Okay, I'm just sharing my experience. That's all. I'm not criticizing. He has given some area of our soul's journey. That's fine. That's okay. And whatever the evolution he has mentioned, not necessarily our soul, each soul has to go through that. We can choose different animal form, not necessarily going as per the sequence given. Sure. We can choose, we can skip some of them. Okay, those are available to us. But it's okay, because to explain scientifically over the period of time, in the framework of time, something is played and that is correct on the earth collectively. That's fine. So, all right. So that's about that Darwin's theory and that survival for the fittest. So that answer your question, Shaival? Or
that does. But let me ask you, not to put you on the spot, but you are. For example, you are in the oil and gas industry, right? So it's based on fossil fuels, and the conventional wisdom is that we will run out of the fossil fuels, right?
Yes.
So your spiritual understanding of if energy is needed, it can be created. Now that from our scientific evidences, it will run out of fossil fuels. Now, if someone wants you to explore into renewable energies or thing, So
Yes.
what in this worldly life, right? So can you go with this principle that energy can be created and there's infinite energy?
Oh, of course. Yes.
So
Of course, it can be created.
I'm not challenging, I'm saying that how do you approach? If somebody says fossil fuel is limited, there's a rush for renewable energy, there's rush for, all the electric cars and alternate energies, clean energies coming in. So if someone questions you, oh, then you can always say that from your spiritual perspective, energy can always be created. We don't need to worry about it. So what would be your response on that?
No, it can be created and it's being created.
Okay.
Whatever, yeah, first let me, give you from where the all kind of energy came. It came from sun.
Exactly right. That's what I was going.
So, see, listen, sun is not going to extinguish tomorrow.
Mhm.
One form of its energy will be expired, and it happened earlier. Before that, some of the forms of energy we no longer use. That is fine. We no longer use wooden logs to, burn things to cook food, no? Okay, those are gone. Then these are the people learned more and more better techniques over the period of time, and that is fine. Okay, now certain form of energy will go, certain form will come. All energy is coming from sun. Sun will give another form of energy on earth. So we are just shifting from one method to another. Okay, even our soul gets expired and go out of our body when time comes. So as the fossil fuel, it will go after a certain time. It's okay. We need not to stick to the old rotten things. It's all gone, and we have to come out of that. There was some dominance in the oil industry. Now oil gone, and I'm working in a oil and gas industry. Currently, I'm in gas industry. The gas is clean. Okay, it doesn't create the black smoke when you put it into the power plants, and it is the life of next 50 years. People will be depending on gas, natural gas. I mean CNG or natural gas, not gasoline. Not what is US people say. I feel gas in the car, so that's not that gas. Okay, not gasoline. I'm talking natural gas. The world is now, you can say, the running on the natural gas. But electricity you get, mostly it is from the natural gas. Okay, so that's what I'm working on now, which is it will continue till 50 years. Okay, no longer oil. Oil burning for generating electricity is gone. Is no longer, nobody uses that anymore. Okay, then there's come nuclear and other things. But anyway, energy will keep shifting its focus. But whatever energy you use here, all came from sun. In future also, whatever is going there, it will come from sun. Sun will give the energy what all the lives of planet Earth needs. That is constant. That never changed. Form may change. Like we grow, in our body grows, our form, our look changes. Similarly, the source of energy will also change on planet Earth. But original source will not change. It will still come from sun. So that answers very well.
Yeah.
We got deviated from self-respect, but it's okay.
Right. So I was thinking, but the point taken that eventually, like they say, that go to the source. As long as the source remains the same, in any transformation of energy will work.
Right. Anybody has any other question on self-respect and ego, please?
Guruji, now thing which is becoming clear is that before you are born, whatever qualities you have as a soul, those are self-respect, and whatever one has acquired after the birth, that has formed part of the ego. This is what I have understood.
No, a little correction here. See, Hariom, what we are saying is that self-respect is not applied in the soul level. I'm not saying that. Okay. What I'm saying is, after you incarnated, whatever you acquired here, that will be the part of your ego. But what you have born with, That is your self-respect.
Okay.
Faith in oneself. Okay, and moving forward with your plan, we experience different things and all, and you have to love whatever you are doing. Those are your characteristic of self-respect.
Guruji, ego qualities are very clear, like the education which you have acquired, or the rank which
Yeah.
you have acquired, or the house which you have built, and all these things become very clear with the ego aspect. But self-respect को थोड़ा सा example के साथ आप बता दीजिए कि
Yeah. So self-respect actually, it is valuating your own power of your own soul. If you can, first of all, we need to open up our eyes and see if there is, our soul knows everything. The moment we are aware that we have our higher self, we are always guided, if you allow that to happen, because we are under free will contract. Then, and already I explained earlier many times that we call it inner guru awakening. Our soul is our best guru. Only thing, you have to align ourselves with our soul consciousness. And when we do that, then self-respect automatically comes. We need not to depend on anyone. We need not to go for the approval of anyone. We need not to look at the world and how our reflections are. We can only see the reflections when we are not aware about what is the source which is creating all those things. So when we are aligned with our soul consciousness, self-respect automatically comes. Because all souls are equally powerful. The drama is played on this art only. At soul level, everything is equal. Everybody came from the same source, and it will go and merge in the same source, which is universal consciousness, like river going into the sea. So when we open up, we have a realize that we are not limited to our body, mind, intellect package. We are much bigger. Then self-respect automatically comes. Okay, Hari Om?
हाँ जी गुरुजी, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it is only the realization of the self, not to carry the whole thing. The moment you are connected with the soul consciousness, self-respect automatically comes.
Okay.
Because it doesn't operate under fear or favor of anyone. It is your inner quality, and nobody can take it out from you, no matter what they do. And only the mind construct can be taken away from you. But what is soul consciousness cannot be taken away from you. Okay, your thoughts, words, and actions, which is coming under free will, if you analyze it in the world, the politics about how to control that. You cannot do certain activities, you cannot say certain things. Even if they wanted to impose, brainwash you to think a certain way. You see? But what is your soul consciousness? Nobody can manipulate. That is your soul's plan. It is always there, and nobody can touch it. Well, unless until you allow, you change your soul's plan, that is a different thing, that you are allowing something, but otherwise it is impossible. So those are coming from the self-respect. So going to self-respect is coming, that I will come back and I will explain in detail when I come to the relationship part, but this is the fundamental difference. The self-respect is coming from the alignment with our higher self. First, you have to accept we have a higher self. You are not, running out of the situations, one situation to another situation. That is your ego is telling you. To be careful about that. That can be harmed. You will be this. That's your ego telling. That is not the truth. Okay. All right. So, Hari Om, that answers your question, or it was something different? Hari Om? Okay. Anybody else having any question on this? All right, fine. Now we go into our second part of the discussion, that how these things plays out in a relationship. I normally get a lot of offline messages and asking for advice and all, and 50% of them related to interrelationship, particularly in the matter of families. Okay, that I get. That is, I'm just giving you statistics. I'm not saying it is good and bad. That means that people are concerned about their day-to-day life, and mostly they comes into this aspect of relationship. Or originally, I told the fundamental thing that we come here, our karma plays out in three major areas of our life, and that's what we come here to experience. One is anything health related, health issues. Secondly, monetary issues. It can be a career or job or business or property or whatever. But it is something related to money. And third one is that it is about the relationships. These three major categories. So it is not a surprising thing to see that the 50% of your concerns are relationship related, like interconnection or communication between two persons. So now what I'm saying is that now I'm giving the analysis. That is my experience so far with dealing with these cases. Most of the cases are directly linked to ego. It's called ego clash. Ego can be hurt. You see that one of the component given here, the ego can be hurt. So if you felt hurt, then first you ask yourself, who got hurt? Who? The entity which has got hurt, that is your ego. If you felt bad, that your ego felt bad. If you feel humiliated, your ego felt humiliated. Understand, I'm just giving you understanding. Okay, and just listen with the pure form. I'm not judging anyone. Don't think, oh, he may be talking about me. Yeah, I asked those three questions. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking in general. I'm not interested. You remember, as a part of the process of enlightenment, any interest about anybody's life get dropped. I don't feel any kick in analyzing people. Not anymore. That I left 10 years back. Not left, it is the divine grace has happened. So I'm not criticizing and analyzing your life. I'm not interested in. I'm trying to give you a tool so that you can know how to overcome this kind of issues. And what is the clue? And the clue is the truth. Follow the truth. Whatever is not true, whatever image, drop it. You will be liberated. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you, these are whatever your hurt, humiliation, these are all your ego is facing. Your ego is telling, I got hurt. Okay. I had to undergo a practice to overcome this. How I did that? Somebody insulted me. Somebody called me, you are a bastard. Then first I have to just come into the awareness. He said, what you are telling? And you are this. I tell him few more things. His father and mother is this. So no need. What I have to do, I have to first I have to talk to myself. There should be enough space so that I can talk to myself. There'll be no reaction. I need to respond. First, I have to accept the fact that that person is telling Rajdeep a bastard. Okay, there is a difference. That person telling me a bastard and that person telling Rajdeep a bastard, there's a hell and heaven difference here. That means it is only abusing to the form of me, not me, originally me. My soul consciousness is too high level for anybody to touch with a comment. my soul has taken so many lifetimes, so many experiences, so many things. How come one comment can change that? And that is why you remember there's one thing called it doesn't changes with a minor instigation from anyone. First you accept, okay, that it has been, truth is that wrong words has been said to Rajdeep, not me. See, once you do that, then automatically the level comes down. You accept the truth, what is happening. And in that sense, you no need to, you decide whether it anything needed any kind of response or not. Okay, it doesn't matter what people say. So in that sense, my next exercise I used to do is, I used to say, I will not give the control to somebody else to control me. I will not give power to somebody else to control my mind. My means whatever in this body is holding. So first is accept that somebody has instigated Rajdeep. And then I say, Rajdeep will not allow that person to control Rajdeep's mind. Keep the power with you in higher self. You might have say anything what you want, but I will not allow you to control my mind anymore. I have my own power and I'm liberated. You cannot do anything to me at soul level. No harm. Forget about death. If you give a death threat, it is to my body. My soul is immortal. Okay, it cannot be, threatened. Okay, if you take something away from me, I can create that. No issues. In fact, I can create infinitely. Whatever you threaten to take out, even you take 10 times of that, still I will have more. I am that powerful. And this is the truth. Okay, so if you run your life from this consciousness, then nobody can actually do any harm. Until you allow. Okay, so now what happens is, this is second step. And third step, then I see, okay, Rajdeep, I instruct Rajdeep. So two things happened here. Somebody abused me. So then I considered that that fellow has abused Rajdeep. Okay. Second step is, I told Rajdeep, don't allow this person to control your mind. He has no power to control your mind. And what is the third? Third step, I tell Rajdeep, treat this person as if you are in an asylum. People are under treatment. They don't have the whole truth. They cannot see. So if you go to, just I'm saying, giving example, suppose you go to an asylum and you say one mentally disbalanced person is shouting at you. What do you feel? You feel retaliatory? When this person say, I will kill you, then do you feel that you go and complain to the police that his person is telling to kill me? No. You know it is, you are in an asylum and that patient is not stable. If what you feel is actually compassion, the poor fellow, he needs treatment. Okay, बेचारा उनका ये सफर कर रहा है and he's talking all nonsense and he need to be taken care of nicely. So the third thing I tell Rajdeep, first I tell Rajdeep, that fellow has abused to Rajdeep, first step. Okay, I accept the truth. I'm not hiding. I'm not saying, no, I'm spiritual. I cannot, accept this kind of bad one. No, actually it's spoken. It's the truth. Okay. But only thing I said, not spoken to me, spoken to Rajdeep, which is the truth. Because Rajdeep is not all of me. It's the only representative, which is the truth again. Okay. Second is, I said, Rajdeep, don't allow this person to control your mind. Mind, and from the mind, it goes to emotions. Don't bring any kind of thoughts which will trigger some emotion. Emotion can be anger or retaliatory, or even I can go shouting uncontrollably. Whatever it is controlling my mind. No? That's why the reaction comes. So I need to respond, not to react. So second thing I told Rajdeep, do not allow this person to control your mind. And third thing I tell Rajdeep, take that person as if you are in an asylum. Once I say, Rajdeep, these three truths, then compassion comes out of Rajdeep, not anger. They see the truth, that person needs help. He's walking in the darkness. He needs a torchlight. So his behavior is random because of he's not focused. And that's it. After these three things is over, then I tell Rajdeep, now you decide whether you have to at all take any action or not. Okay, most of the time, silently we leave the scene so that drama doesn't go further. And it is also understandable, not always it is possible to go out of the scene. We very well understand that. But if you at least do this bit of it, then most of you then liberated from this level. In the whole process, nowhere my self-respect is compromised. Maybe my ego had got hurt. That's why I have to tell my ego, tell Rajdeep, don't react. It doesn't worth reacting. How does it matter somebody is telling me bastard? It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's his view. Doesn't make anything change. Okay? So that's how I maintain my self-respect. I've given my example. I hope you got the clue. You know. Now I will show you a few more slides I posted in the group earlier. Those are having much wisdom. So I will share those now. Those 2-3 slides are more there. Let me see which one I can take.
Can I ask one question?
Oh, sure. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. But in this case, I would like to know from you that if you leave it like that, then the person who is humiliating or abusing you or me, whatever be the case, then he or she can take you for granted. Anything and everything can be told this person. She may not stop. She or he may not stop. He will continue to abuse you, no? So at some point of time, he or she should be stopped, na?
No, you leave that to divine, to stop others. Okay?
Okay.
First you stop yourself, because you have a direct responsibility of yourself. Okay?
Okay.
The thing happens, people lose interest. I will show you one slide, interesting one. It is very direct.
Okay.
Little bit abusive slide, but I wanted to show you. Okay? In this
fine.
matter. You will get your answer there.
Okay,
I'm going to show you that.
Thank you.
I show the slide and I read it for Vidya also.
Yeah, thank you, Rajdev. What you answered, that is an experienced thing for me. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to share one slide. Can you see the slide? Just say yes or no. Somebody?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes,
No, Dada.
yes.
Yes.
No,
Okay. Now I read the slide
Yes,
for
no.
Vidya.
It's not apparent slide. Slide is not
Sorry?
apparent. Slide is, there's no slide on the screen.
There is no slide. A black slide is not there.
I
No.
can see.
You
If you
cannot
have
see?
pinned,
There is a
if you
slide,
have pinned,
but it,
Yeah.
the
We can see it.
We can see it.
All right. I will read it for you. So those who cannot see the slide, I will read it for you. It's a short slide. Okay. It is some comment made by George Bernard Shaw. Okay. And it says, I learned long ago never to wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it. Okay. So this means that what he is sharing of his experience is the never wrestle with a pig. You know, you understand what he meant. You know, and Aditi, to your question also, you know, if you got that thing from this, so it is say ki never wrestle with a pig. Why?
Okay.
Because you get dirty. You come to
Yeah.
that person's level.
Okay.
And third part is very unique. He says, besides, the pig likes it, means pig will like that too. You know, if you come to that person's level and fight, that's what that person wants it.
Yeah.
So now from this, if I come back to my comment, so if you don't give the pleasure of fighting with that person will lose interest in you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, slowly, it will not happen immediately. Okay, well, a lot of drama will be created, but slowly, as it is not being reciprocated, the interest will die down because the incentive of fighting is not there.
Right.
Okay, so that is the learning. That's what I wanted to show you this message.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Understood.
Good. So now, before I show the last slide, then let me come back to my. Okay, stop sharing. Yeah. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, now I come to the last part of the relationship thing. But let me, because this is an important thing to understand, like Aditi has asked very good question. If you have any more question, you ask me now. Then I go to the last slide. What is the strategy in the relationship matter? What is the strategy will follow in this matter? That I will, this is the last slide. I'll show you that one. But now if you have any question, then you ask me. So far, whatever I have explained.
Guruji, I have a
Chaitali,
question.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead,
If someone
Chaitali.
is physically abusing me, then what to do?
No, then you have a right to say that this is not correct and you will take appropriate action. If it needs to complain to police, do that.
Okay.
Okay, just make it clear it is not acceptable. That's what the first point I mentioned, that self-respect is not about allowing yourself to get tortured. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, when I come to the last slide, it will be more clear. Okay.
And Rajdeep, I also
You
like
just
to
specify,
add here.
and in my 1 minute, I'll come back to you. Where you have to say that this is not acceptable. You can tell that without taking any action.
Okay.
Okay, if
Okay.
it goes beyond a certain thing, that whatever you have legal rights, you apply.
Okay. Verbally,
Okay,
I have to
that-
do it. Verbally, I have
Verbally,
to
you
tell.
have to just tell that this is not
Okay.
acceptable.
Okay.
Be calm. No need to be, be dramatic on this. You said this behavior is not acceptable to me. If it happens, I have no other choice than to go and talk to police or call police. That's all.
Okay. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. All right. Yes, Nimai, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was telling, it is not only only for the physical abuse. Even on other situations, if someone is crossing a limit, I can always politely take my stand and tell him what you are telling, etc. is not, without losing anger, without losing my stability, neutrally, but I can face, tell very clearly, look, you did this, but this is
Absolutely.
not correct. But keeping my
Yeah.
calm, absolutely 100%.
No, that calm can come from the 3 points I mentioned earlier. How I managed to make Rajdeep to be calm. Those
Right,
3 points,
right,
you remember? Yeah.
right,
Those
right.
are the techniques. Those
Yeah.
are the secrets actually I shared with you, because I have done with this experiment with myself. How Rajdeep cannot react, So those things I shared with you, these are the tools to be used in this kind of cases. Okay. With fully relying on the truth. That is more important. Okay. All right. Okay.
Thanks.
So anybody else has got any question? Okay, fine. We'll go to the last slide. I need to give you a little bit of background. See, sometimes what happens is that you are in a relationship, you are, in the name of the relationship, you are sacrificing some things. You still not to disturb the pot. I can understand that. Okay, from where? But the question comes, where is the boundary? Where is the boundary? It is very gray area, and this is where normally people get troubled. In the first instant, somebody has, lost maybe his temper, and you apply whatever just I said, I will call you police, that may be a bit too much. Okay. Be reasonable, be fair. Everybody is human being. Everybody has their, sometimes they can lose the cool. You accept that. I'm talking when you go to the level of torture. Intentionally, the people are doing that, then you do that. Don't take it any longer. And sometimes, why I'm saying sometimes you have to take, this is where my last slide is coming. Sometimes you have to take hard decisions, take a final call. Okay, don't be fearful if it comes to that level. This is not your ego. This time, if something is not working, you tried all the method, you have to take final call. It is not your ego who is looking forward to get out of it. It is not your ego, it is your self-respect. To protect your self-respect, if there is no other choice, you may have to take that final call. It is okay. From this background, I will take the last slide, and then if you have any further question, I will go into that. Let me go into that. This slide and share it. Can you see the slide? Can you see the slide? Can you somebody say yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
No, Dada.
No? Okay.
No.
So for those who do not see the slide, I will read it for you. Okay. This slide says, value your relationship much more than ego, but not more than self-respect. I repeat, value your relationship much more than ego, but not more than self-respect. So here the boundary comes. Whatever anything to do with your ego, control your ego, don't get into somebody else's ego, and take whatever, options, available, control yourself, calm down, etc., etc. But do not allow that. Do not bargain with your self-respect. Okay. If your self-respect is not there, then it doesn't worth it. So it is basically, it is your self-respect that need to be maintained. relationship cannot be more than your self-respect. And self-respect, I'm giving that final spiritual understanding of self-respect. Self-respect coming out of self-love, love of your higher self. If you don't have that self-respect or self-love, then you cannot have the relationship with anybody else properly, because you don't love yourself. So first, the final advice is, if you are having an issue with this relationship matters, forget about everything external, work on your self-love, establish your self-respect, and then you re-establish the relationship. So that is the final way forward. So I'll just stop sharing. Fine. So that's all I have to say on these matters. So if you have any final question, so you can ask me now, then we'll go into our Kriya and meditation.
Dada, one question.
Yes, Madhu?
Dada, how do you define self-love? Love means in terms of internal love, or you love your body?
No, not
Internal
body. The love of your higher self. That I will address in a separate session. Okay. I will add, or I will post it. I will post it into the group. Okay.
Right.
Now, because it's a big subject, it will go into that. But what I'm saying is, original cause that you get abused in the relationship because you have not enough self-love. You don't love yourself enough. That's why you get exposed to this kind of abuses in the relationship, I mean. Okay. So if you have any issue with that, because we have come here to learn, experientially learn these three things, no? One of them is relationship. I'm giving you the final solution to all your relationship issues. Self-love. Maintain your self-respect. Operate from there. That's it. Okay.
Right.
So it will be the final thing. In fact, once I was asking Babaji, there's so many problems people tell me, no? So I have to ask him. So I told Babaji, there are so many issues here that, and many, I think, because that time I was thinking that most of the people, I found they fight with money. Okay. So I told that how to let them get more money so that they don't fight. They said, no, money will not solve all your problem. Pure love can.
Yes.
It is the absence of love, not absence of money.
Yes.
So Babaji told, my dear, it is not absence of money they are fighting. It is the absence of love that is manifested this way. That's all. Come back to the field of love. Everything is possible.
Correct.
Okay. So if I love somebody, I will work it for free. That's how it is. So it is not about the money or other things. It is about that money and power. It is about you have absence of pure love. Okay. All right. So is there any other question?
Dada, one more thing.
Yes.
It is that love, like we see Ram in all and we love all.
Yes, it is a oneness.
Oneness.
Yes, it is a oneness. Ramana Maharshi says, sir, others, I don't feel any love for others. So Ramana Maharshi, who is others? I don't see any other. See, that is coming from the universal consciousness, the oneness. Everybody will feel like part of your own body. Yes. You don't hurt your own hand, no? One finger. You don't hurt. Like that, you cannot hurt others because they are part of your body. You are the same body, the oneness. We are all one. Okay?
Thank you.
Guruji, I have a question. that
Yes, Manali.
it is also the soul's plan not to be in an abusive relationship. Maybe in past life that we did some wrong to that person, so in this life we are closing our accounts, karmic accounts, by being in this relationship abusive.
Yeah. No, see, relationships are as per the soul's plan. But what is said and done, it is not as per soul's plan. That is a free will. That's why I'm saying, take care of that part which is coming out of ego. Don't react.
Okay.
Okay, things will settle by itself. No? If there is suppose as you're saying, that is a karma possible, then whatever the karma will settle one-sided. You will not build more karma.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let it settle. If it has to happen, it will happen in different ways, and sometimes you don't have much control with. It's okay. Do your best and leave it there. But you don't react so that you bind more karma.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Operate from your self-respect and do what is necessary and leave it there. The problem is that leave it there part doesn't come. That's why bind more karma, complicate things and drag it on. It is really not necessary. If you don't reciprocate, then like George Bernard Shaw said,
Yes.
no matter whoever it is, they will lost interest because they are not getting the fight.
Okay. Thank you, Guru.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Guruji,
Alright.
now we are in a
Carry on.
situation where if you are in office or at home,
Mhm.
if you have a dominating boss or a dominating partner,
Mhm.
and you do not reply to whatever they are saying, and you choose to not to respond, then
Mhm.
in the world you are being taken as a meek person. And now I understand that that meekness which the world is perceiving is only my ego part of it is getting hurt.
Exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. You are right on the dot. What others are
So,
thinking,
but
it is none of your business. It is their business. And let me tell you another thing also. That is from my
I can
experience.
understand now. Huh.
Yeah. Even if you do your best, still they will not be satisfied. Okay. If you don't say things, people will be thinking you are useless. Okay. But if you do your best also, still people will think you are useless. Okay. So what I'm saying is no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. They're operating from somewhere else, from their ego, but you are nobody to control their ego. It's okay. Let them behave whatever they want. That's what I told you. If somebody tell me bastard, I don't care. Okay.
But it is difficult to implement, Guruji, because at times somebody calls you bastard. First time somebody calls you something.
All right.
It's very difficult to
Nothing is
implement.
easy, my dear.
So one is trying,
Nothing is
but,
easy. Yeah, but at least you know what to do, right?
okay.
All right. There are many people,
Aji.
they don't know
Ah.
what to do. Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Guruji.
Go.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
In
All right.
between, I could not respond because net problem. Because of the
Never
net
mind.
problem
It's okay.
last time.
It's okay. I think recording is being done. You can listen to the recording.